Alrighty, hey everybody. Today's going to be a model review of the brand new Diecast Masters 966, 966GC, and 972XE. Made 150th scale. Bought these for around $125, $126 each for each one. So we'll get into the model review. So starting off with the tins, here you can see is the tin for the 966. There's the 972 and the 966GC, and I'll be showing you the engine specs on all three of them. So if you want to pause for the 966, the 72, or the GC, there you go. Moving on, so the functionality for all three loaders is exactly the same. I'll just show you first the 966 GC, and then we'll go over the details of each individual loader. So here's the 966 GC. It turns to the left that far and to the right that far. On mine, this loader's cylinders are pretty loose, so it turns pretty easily. The rear axles oscillate. Your bucket curls back only that far, so the carry angle is very restricted on all three of them. The bucket raises up that high, which is pretty decent, and then it does dump that far, so that's pretty good. Obviously the loader also freely spins. So go over next I'll go over the details of the GC. The 72 and the 966 are very similar with just some minor differences. I'll go over those here in a minute. So as you can see with the 966, you have a bucket with teeth on it. They're all metal, nice teeth. They got some bolt detail there. Moving up to the back of the bucket, you can see all your guarding back here. Nothing is etched through. It's not really supposed to be. So you can see your Z-bar and linkage. It would have been nice to have hydraulic lines going to the cylinders on this model on the loader, on all three of them, but none of them have it. You can see you've got your flaps. They're made out of metal, which is nice. The black on them is it's a matte color. It's not super glossy. So here are your tires. They got a real nice aggressive pattern to them. Out of the three loaders, by far the GC is my favorite with the tires, with the tread pattern on there. You can see you've got bolt detail inside the rims there, which looks great. You've got warning lights that are painted in. They are plastic, as you can see, they're flimsy. Your cylinder. Moving up to the articulation point of the loader, you can see your cylinders in there. You do have a graphic, a warning decal there, which looks good. So your ladder here is made out of plastic, but it's a stiff plastic. Getting up to the top, you can see you've got anti-slip texture there. It's not etched through, but it's etched in. It looks pretty good. All your handrails here are metal, which looks good. Getting to the operator, which just like the 980 and the 982, he is not removable, which for me is the biggest disappointment with that, with all three of these models. I just never understood what today's models Diecast Masters has put out, and they should also know a lot of people don't care for the operator. I never understood why they couldn't just make a simple pop top and make it optional for you to put that operator in or not. But regardless, he's there. So you can see you've got a cat hex logo on the window. You've got some headlights there. Your operator is holding a steering wheel, being this is the GC. It has a steering wheel. And you can see your seat. Getting towards the back, you can see you've got a fender here with a decal. It says no stepping on there. Cat hex logo, 966 GC. Your grills up here and down here are just put in with a graphic, but they do have a tiny bit of texture to them. Your handrails back here for the step are in plastic, but they're a stiff plastic, so that's good. The step there has more anti-slip texture. You can see your little counterweight, or sorry, your little counterweight in the back. There's your grill with the cat logo. Again, etched in, not etched through. Getting to the top, you can see the exhaust stack and the air intake. Getting to the side of the machine, it's pretty much the same. So, and then getting on the underside, there's a little bit of a drive shaft there, and that's about it. So now the 966, difference-wise, because there are people out there that probably think these are the same model, just different decaling, which is not the case, that is something I'm glad to see. I'll go over the differences here between the GC and the standard 966. As you can see, they have different grills. This grill has no lights, this one does. Different counterweights, this one has a hitch, this one doesn't. The engine body is different. It's more square and wider on the GC than it is on the standard 966. You can see it kind of angles in right here. It's black back here. The GC is not. GC, you've got headlights back here. The 66 you do, but they're more tucked underneath the ROPs of the machine. They don't stand out as much, and they're more of a round than a square like they are here. Handrails on the 66 are metal, just like the GCs. Your tire tread pattern is different, as you can see. The operator, as you can also see, he's not holding a steering wheel. The 966 is a joystick operated machine, so he's got his hands on some joysticks. Bucket is the same. Decaling is obviously different. It's Cat 966. The grills on the sides are also different. Getting the GC over here, I'll show you. You can see it's more, you've got a gap in here, whereas this you don't. So the exhaust stacks are different. This comes up and angles out. This angles out a lot further down the stack, so that looks good. So other than that, the loaders size-wise are the same, but there are differences, which is good to see between the two of them. So moving on to the 72 now. The functionality, like I said, on the loaders is exactly the same. So I'll show the underside of the 66. There's no drive line right here. That's kind of the main difference I can see between it and the GC. So the 72 is a bigger loader, obviously. And Diecast Masters has done a good job modeling that. So as you can see, the two loaders side by side. You can see the bucket on the 72 is bigger. It is a smooth edge bucket, not a toothed bucket. The tire tread on both are the same. You can see this has a full fender. The 66 doesn't. The 66 just goes over half the tire. The GC's also goes over the whole tire. That's another difference between the 66 and the GC. Obviously, your decaling is different. It says 72XC. Getting to the back of the two machines, the grills are the same for the most part. You can see the 72 has a bigger counterweight on it. So, and yeah, when you get the two machines side by side, you can just see the 72 is a beefed up version of the 66. Tires sit higher, the machine sits higher. So other than it being a slightly larger and having different buckets and decaling, the two loaders are very similar to each other. So the 72 also has same underside as the 66. You can see though the wear guarding underneath the bucket. So concluding this model review now. So the only complaints two complaints I have with this model, with all three of these models, is the operator's not removable, and the carry angle on the buckets is not very good, as you can see on both of these as well. So that's really the two main disappointments that I have with these models. They retail for about $125, giving today's just cost of living and cost of anything. It is what it is. I really don't know what else to say about it than that. I am glad to see that Diecast Masters has made these different castings and put differences in these three loaders, and not just made the same loader and put different decaling on it like other retailers have done in the past. So that's real good to see. So yeah, I recommend these loaders if you guys want a newer loader, or you guys want a loader that's has the hex or any of that stuff. These loaders, I think, are built pretty well. So like I said, the only thing that is a little disappointed is non-removable operator. Other than that, I can recommend these. These are really nice models. And yeah, that'll conclude this model review. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.